and particularly today in the fact that there's tremendous pressure on the Enlightenment. I think free thinking and these issues are very important, are under threat today. I'm an atheist, and whatever that is, agnostic atheist, I'm not going to fine touch. I mean, I think that most science is atheistic, and there are a few scientists, less than 10%, who believe in God. But of the major scientists, more than 90% are atheists, and they transfer the aspects of science to their everyday life, which I think is an intellectual issue for me. It's not that I don't need some mystical thing, it's just that I don't accept it. And I think people who do accept it, they have a tremendous Achilles heel, in the sense that they accept anything, any old story from anywhere, 1,000 years old, which is no evidence. And these people bother me because they're in positions of power and responsibility. And when people are prepared to accept, you know, one of 20 or 30 different stories from thousands of years ago, I wonder what else they're prepared to accept when it comes to decisions which affect me. And so that's one responsibility, and I have a position, I feel a position to say something about that. A good example is something I'll mention on Wednesday, is that in the States there's a museum, a creation museum, where they tell young children, school children, that the Earth is only 4,500 years old, when it's pretty clear it's, you know, a lot older than that. From scientific measurements which all fit together from every aspect of science indicate the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. They tell children that the Grand Canyon was carved by Noah's flood 4,350 years ago, which is a load of crap. I mean, total nonsense. And yet school children are going there. Now it bothers me that we're getting a whole generation of children who will be abused by people who we've got no control over. We've got governors of states in the USA who think this way, and therefore are bringing in legislation so that school teachers are having to tell their children this thing. I think the world is now in a very dangerous situation where these lunatics are actually getting control of education, and also control over many aspects, even here in the European Union, and that bothers me. Now, I'm evidence-based, and I don't accept anything without evidence, and also I don't accept the evidence without looking at it critically and saying, yes, I think this looks right, or in complex systems saying, well, you know, it's probably right. I mean, a complex system would be global warming. It's very complex, very, very complex issue. The evidence suggests, as we heard today, that we got a problem. I'm not absolutely sure, but I'm fairly sure. And therefore I say, okay, we got to do something about it, because if it is right, we're in deep shit. I mean, really, big problems. And I think that's where a scientist stands. So these are the responsibilities of someone who's a Nobel Prize winner in a position to say these things. Of course, when you say them to people, they often don't like it, and they don't. But so when you undermine when you take away the crutch which is helping some people to survive, it's a problem. I don't take the crutch away from people for whom it's very important and they're not influential, but I think we have to really wipe the crutch from underneath governors of states in the USA, or people who are contending for president of the USA. That bothers me very much, because if they're prepared to accept, say, religious dogma, what else are they prepared to accept? Are they prepared to accept or believe without evidence that there are weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, which is the case? And I think that's an example which I think people should think about.